Boogeyman band coming round the bend is Boogeyman band. Is Boogeyman band.
Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone. I hope everyone's doing well. Today's video is a very special video. This is something that I wasn't originally planning for Halloween week. In fact, because of my recent trip to Los Angeles, Pasadena in particular, a lot of the content that I was originally planning to do for Halloween has changed slightly. Initially, I was going to do a couple of different videos, but because I had this opportunity, I thought it actually was perfect for Halloween week, and the fact that it coincided with an anniversary of one of my favorite horror films of all time, I just thought it was absolutely perfect, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity. The film I'm talking about is Halloween 2, which today, October 30th of 2021, is celebrating its 40th year. Now, Halloween 2 is a very special film for me. I actually did a segment on Halloween 2 last year. I kind of jumped the gun a year early, talking about this film, and I was doing a segment called Underappreciated Horror Sequels. And I've heard it from many people. I've heard it from people like Sean Clark, who I greatly respect from Horror's Hallowed Grounds, that it was a mistake to take this out of the canon because it does add more weight to especially the events that took place in Halloween Kills, where you had the town of Haddonfield rise up to go after Michael Myers. But I love this film. It is the first Halloween film that I ever saw. It's the one that I remember seeing as a very young kid, very impressionable young kid, being fascinated by Donald Pleasence, the late great Donald Pleasence as Dr. Loomis, falling in love with Jamie Lee Curtis for the first time, and actually being terrified, absolutely terrified by Michael Myers. And I love Dick Warlock. He's my favorite actor to play the Shape, and this movie still holds up fantastically for me. Now, like I said, I already did a segment talking about and gushing over this film, so I'm not going to bore you guys with more of that. But for this 40th anniversary, I actually had an opportunity this past week when I was in Pasadena. My wife and I took a little vacation. We didn't go to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights like we usually do, just because of money. But we did stay in Pasadena. Everyone knows that Pasadena is famous for films like John Carpenter's Halloween and Halloween 2. And we knew we were going to be staying close to these locations, so I wanted to make sure I ventured down to where the Myers house is located and do some more footage. I had only been there one other time, which was in 2019. This opportunity to meet up with a friend of mine, someone that I've greatly respected and admired for the last 11 years, ever since this movie came out, which is unrelated to the franchise, but I'm talking about the Psycho Legacy. So Rob Galuzzo, people know him as Rob G, directed this film. It's one of the first videos I did on this channel back in 2010 talking about this film. As everyone knows, not only Halloween and Friday the 13th especially being my favorite horror franchise, but the Psycho films, especially the first 4 Psycho films starring the late great Anthony Perkins, is my second favorite horror film franchise of all time. And this documentary is fantastic. I've always loved it. It's a very personal documentary. Has fantastic footage, interviews with actors such as Henry Thomas, Olivia Hussey, Diana Scarwood, Jeff Fahey, Kurt Paul, the late great Hilton Green, Tom Holland, the late great Robert Loggia. Rob did a fantastic job on this, and when this first came out, I just did a little, kind of like a little showcase of it. I don't even want to call it a review, but I just said how much I loved this film, and I was so happy to have it in my collection because I had followed the production on it through the psychomovies.com, which is a site that Jason Allentoff had ran at the time. And Rob reached out to me and just thanked me for it. And over the years, we've just kept in contact. Rob and I had the opportunity to meet up for the first time. And like I said, I haven't, this is the first time that we had the chance to meet up in person. We've always just sort of been friends online. But it was a true honor. And when we first met up, we were just going to go and have, just go hang out, have a drink, something like that. But he said, hey, why don't I take you on a tour of some of these locations from Halloween 2? And I just thought it was an opportune time. It was just amazing to capture this footage and do an on-location video, as well as having this amazing time with Rob, but also having these amazing experiences visiting some of the famous locations from Halloween 2. So I thought I would do that and share that with you guys today for this 40th anniversary of one of my favorite films of all time. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I broke this down into segments. I was actually able to be at the Myers house at night, which was amazing. And I know the Myers house isn't utilized that much in Halloween 2, but I still thought that people would appreciate this footage. So I hope everyone enjoys this, and here we go. See that shit? That's the Myers house behind me. Pasadena, California right now. Look at this shit. A lot of people around, but this is fucking awesome.
You know this from when you go back to Halloween 2, but this is where Ben Tramer is walking towards the camera.
Oh, yeah.
He walks around. The way you'll know is the fence. The fence is slightly different.
Because it was this, was he in this way?
Yeah, exactly like that. He walks this way and then he kind of turns around and then he crosses over there where Magnolia and Meridian is. And
Yep.
that's where the car crash happened.
Jesus Christ, that's
But this
crazy.
is the marker. If you go back, you'll see. I think it's more like a spiky fence, if
Uh-huh.
my memory serves right. But this is the fence. He drunkenly walks.
Because
here
he's
and
walking
turns
this
around.
way and he says, "Is that him?" He's like, "I don't know," and he runs towards him and then he turns and goes that way.
Yeah. So when you go back to the movie, you'll be able to.
Oh yeah.
See, this is the infamous alley from the beginning,
Really?
too. Which you can kind of tell, like that's where Loomis.
That's where he says, "I shot him in the heart."
Yeah.
Yep.
He runs
Wow.
up to the car.
That is awesome.
Yeah, when you look at this video later, just put the theme.
I am, because I
slowly
totally
moving
woke.
too.
And then they do a cut because of the dog barking, and they go
Which
back
is-
to this pole. Is it the X?
Yeah.
I can see it right there.
But there used to be a screwdriver in it to kind of mark where the light went.
Oh
I
wow.
think someone stole it. I think the Elrod house is here. Yeah, it's this. garage.
Yeah, that one I think.
Actually, it's this one. I think. You can't see it as well. But it's like that's where he goes in to that house.
That's crazy. That's so
That's
crazy.
that one. I get the one that look identical.
They do. This is crazy. I was
Maybe this one because the door looks kind of a little wanky. And I think Sean Clark said they changed the door out.
He said they took the door out for the shot because when he walks in, it's just the screen door. So when he walks in, the door would have been facing this way, so it would have blocked him.
Yeah.
So they had to take the door out. But Sean Clark has that cutting board.
again, a big thank you to Rob Galuzzo, Rob G, my friend. Just was a fantastic time hanging with him and going to visit these famous locations from Halloween 2, one of my favorite horror films of all time. And thanks so much everyone for checking this out. Everyone is doing well, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy, stay scared as always. Peace.